Walking with God is one of the hardest choices you'll ever have to make. Not because God is difficult, but because the world is loud. Following Jesus isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily choice, one that you'll have to make over and over again, especially when the world offers an easier path. Welcome to One Verse at a Time, a show where we slow down and zoom in on one scripture or a group of related verses so we can better understand the meaning and context. Today we're breaking down three bold scriptures: Proverbs 23:17, 28:4, and 28:9. The theme of today's episode is all eyes on God. Let's start with Proverbs 23:17. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord. Following the crowd comes naturally to us, even when the crowd is doing things that compromise our values. We see what other people have, what they're doing, what they're experiencing, and we start to want it. We start to envy it. But this verse warns us not to go down that path, because what we see on the outside isn't always the full story. We don't know how people got what they have. We don't know the cost, and ultimately, everyone will have to answer to God. So instead of chasing what the world has, we're called to stay rooted in the fear of the Lord, to trust Him, to believe that He knows what we need and when we need it. Now let's look at Proverbs 28:4. Those who forsake the law praise the wicked, but those who keep the law struggle against them. This is a strong statement. It tells us that there's no neutral ground. If we abandon God's ways, we end up aligning ourselves with the world. But if we follow God, there will be tension. There will be resistance. There will be moments where it feels uncomfortable. And that's something that we don't always like. As people, we tend to avoid discomfort. We want things to feel easy. We want things to feel good. But Jesus never promised that following Him would be easy. So when things get hard, we don't run away. We lean in. We go to God. We trust Him even more, because even in our struggles, He's with us. He sees our heart, He sees our effort, and He walks with us through it. And finally, Proverbs 28:9. If anyone turns a deaf ear to my instruction, even their prayers are detestable. Oof, that's a heavy word. It means that if we intentionally ignore God, if we refuse to listen, if we choose our way over His, we can't expect Him to honor our prayers, not because He doesn't care, but because relationship requires obedience. God isn't just someone we go to when we need something. He's someone that we're called to follow, to listen to trust. Now, you might look at the world and think, but I see people who don't follow God, and they seem to be doing pretty well. And that's real, but not everything that looks like a blessing is from God. The enemy can imitate success. He can make things look good on the outside, but eventually, everything built outside of God leads to emptiness. These proverbs are serious. Temptation today is everywhere, and the world is louder than ever. And choosing God will always feel like the harder path. But we're not called to follow what's easy. We're called to follow what's right. Walking with God isn't always comfortable. It's not always convenient, but it is always worth it. And I can say from my own life, even when I feel like giving up, even when I want to take control, I run back to Him because He's my anchor, my provider, my comforter, my rock, and my fortress. So the question is, where are your eyes? On the world or on God? That's all I have for you today. What are some of the hardest parts of your walk with Christ? Let me know in the comments. And if you wish to keep growing spiritually, let's continue uncovering God's truth together, one verse at a time.